Let's dive into the most jaw-dropping, top-trending WWE news picks that are guaranteed to blow your mind, including The Rock gets Cody Rhodes fired, Brock Lesnar not in 2K24, Becky Lynch on her contract negotiations with WWE, is Bayley not in the main event mix, real-life Bloodline member sends a message, The Rock's status for WWE Elimination Chamber, and more. First of, Brock Lesnar not in 2K24. There's been talk about whether Brock Lesnar will be in the WWE 2K24 video game. This comes after allegations against him in the Janelle Grant lawsuit. Grant accused Lesnar, along with Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and WWE, of sexual assault, abuse, and trafficking during her time working there. It was even said she was trafficked to Lesnar when his WWE contract was uncertain. Since the allegations, Lesnar has been taken out of WWE plans and ads for WWE 2K24, but the game's publisher wants to address the issue without delaying the game. Brandon Thurston from WrestleNomics says they're trying to update the game to match WWE's actions. However, fully removing Lesnar might slow down the game's release. Mike Straw from Insider Gaming thinks it's unlikely Lesnar will be completely removed due to these challenges. Despite the controversy, signs point to Lesnar still being part of WWE 2K24's showcase mode. However, things could change as the game develops. Fans will need to keep an eye on ringside news for updates. With all the controversy, Lesnar's possible inclusion in WWE 2K24's showcase mode could affect how fans feel about the game and its release. What do you think about this situation? Let us know in the comments below. Becky Lynch on her contract negotiations with WWE. It was reported back in December that Becky Lynch's current deal will expire in June this year. The man is one of the biggest female stars in the entire industry, and she's had a very successful career with the Stanford-based company. Speaking to Scene Ross Sapp of Fightful at the WrestleMania 40 kickoff green carpet event, Becky Lynch was asked about her contract negotiations with WWE and how one can get a bigger deal given the company's financial growth. That's just what you do. I think, more than anything, it's about deciding what the future looks like. What is the best avenue for the future? And what are the goals and what do you want to achieve? Then you make decisions intelligently, said Lynch. Becky Lynch was involved in a confrontation with Rhea Ripley at the WrestleMania 40 press event. Things got heated between the two stars, and many fans are expecting them to collide at the grandest stage of them all. Do you think Becky will re-sign with WWE or leave after her contract expires? Sound off in the comments below. Speaking of Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins also opened up on his WWE contract expiring in 2024. Rollins is at the moment without an opponent for WrestleMania. With CM Punk injured and Cody Rhodes choosing to face Roman Reigns, this leaves him with no challengers. Given Drew McIntyre's focus on Seth Rollins, though, that might not be the case as soon as Elimination Chamber. The star confirmed to Fightful in an interview at the WrestleMania 40 press event that while his contract was expiring in 2024, there was no reason to worry as something was going to get worked out. He called WWE his home and said that he loved wrestling. He admitted that he'd like to spend more time with his daughter, but also wanted to be in WWE for the rest of his life. It's all there in writing. We're going to get a new deal. Something is going to get worked out. WWE is my home. I love this place. I love this industry. I like to spend more time with my daughter as she gets a little bit older. But at the end of the day, I want to stay here. I want to be here for the rest of my life. I love this place. He said that he was also confident that the company felt the same way about him. I am sure that the powers that be feel the same way about me. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here with this title on my shoulder. I'm sure the compensation will be fair and just. Next up is Bayley not in the main event mix. CM Punk was part of the panel for the WrestleMania 40 kickoff press event, which ended in chaos. However, one WWE superstar was missing from the entire ordeal, someone whose match at WrestleMania 40 is already confirmed. After the press event, Punk made it clear that Bayley was still among the top stars at the shows as she won the 2024 Women's Royal Rumble match and chose Io Sky as her opponent. Despite that, the role model did not appear in Las Vegas, nor was she even mentioned. CM Punk posted an Instagram story to remind everyone about Bayley, and that he wanted to bring her up during the press event. I just feel the need to, as a broadcast journalist, express the fact that I really wanted to talk about Bayley and how she won the Royal Rumble for the women and she wasn't represented on the poster. It felt like she needed a presence there. I got caught up talking about The Rock and Roman, Reigns and Cody, Rhodes and Seth Rollins and all that, but very much in the main event mix is Bayley. She won the Rumble. Don't forget it. Put some respect on her name, CM Punk said. Bayley's WWE Women's Championship match with Io Sky has been nearly 2 years in the making. The former Damage Control teammates will look to steal the show at WrestleMania 40. Speaking of WrestleMania, a former WWE champion teased a WrestleMania 40 match against The Rock after Cody Rhodes replaced him. A Twitter account at WrestleOps sent out a tweet asking where that leaves the Great One. WWE superstar Austin Theory quote-tweeted the post with a gif of his signature pose, signifying he wants to face The Rock at WrestleMania 40. The 26-year-old star does have a history with the Brahma Bull. The two came face-to-face in the ring on a September 2023 episode of SmackDown, with the former WWE champion laying out theory. However, the chances of this match happening on the grandest stage of them all are pretty slim. The Rock essentially turned heel after Cody Rhodes spoke about his and Roman Reigns' family. He is still very much in the mix with the two of them, so expect more twists and turns on the road to WrestleMania 40. Following up, a real-life Bloodline member sends a message. Things got heated between The Rock and Cody Rhodes at the WWE WrestleMania 40 kickoff press event last night after the latter mentioned the Bloodline ancestors. Lesnar reflected on what happened at events with a message on social media. The Brahma Bull pulled out the Bloodline family tree at the WrestleMania 40 kickoff event, stating that they are the only royal family in the pro wrestling world. The Brahma Bull and Roman Reigns also agreed to a match at the Showcase of Immortals, but they were interrupted by Cody Rhodes, who revealed that he would be the one challenging the tribal chief. Reigns and Rhodes also exchanged shots at each other's families, which did not sit well with The Rock. The Great One went on to slap the American Nightmare, which led to a huge chaos. Lesnar, who is a real-life Bloodline member, recently took to X/Twitter to share his thoughts. The 31-year-old noted that although their family was big, they only had a couple of third-generation wrestlers. Fun fact, as big as our Bloodline is, we have only two third-generation wrestlers, myself and The Rock, with the first ever fourth-generation wrestler. Lesnar has made a few appearances for the global wrestling juggernaut. He was last seen on WWE programming in 2019 when he represented the Inoue family against Shane McMahon. Speaking of the Bloodline, here is The Rock's status for WWE Elimination Chamber. WWE's Elimination Chamber event is scheduled to take place at the Grand Optus Stadium in Perth, Australia on February 24, 2024. The event will be a big one, but it won't include everyone that WWE can possibly bring to the show. It was previously reported that Australian officials were hopeful that The Rock would be able to make the Elimination Chamber event. We can confirm that this is not being talked about. A tenured member of the WWE creative team told us that, as far as we know, Rock not on Chamber. So The Rock is not expected to be at the big show. Roman Reigns is also not scheduled to work the Elimination Chamber event. Then again, this is no real surprise because his image has not appeared on one piece of advertising for the show since they announced it. Next up, The Rock gets Cody Rhodes fired. WWE Chief Content Officer Triple H looks to be in a challenging position following one hell of a press event on Thursday. The road to WrestleMania 40 has already seen some huge twists, with many more expected. One could be a direct result of The Rock being replaced in his Mania main event against Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes decided he wanted to face the tribal chief at the show's shows before talking about the Inoue family. This angered the Great One, who essentially turned heel before the end of the press event. As The Rock went backstage, he went on an expletive-filled rant towards Triple H and told him to fix the situation. He even threatened to do it himself, which could mean bad things for the former AEW star. As a member of the TKO board of directors, a Hollywood star can use his power to make Cody's life a living nightmare. One of the things The Rock can do is get Rhodes fired from WWE, possibly via the game. It could even happen tonight on SmackDown, with Triple H regretfully telling the American Nightmare that his hands are tied before the Great One comes out and reinserts himself in the match against Roman Reigns. Of course, the firing wouldn't last long, with Cody Rhodes finding a way back into WWE in the main event of WrestleMania 40. The fan backlash after his potential firing could top what happened after last week's episode of SmackDown. Let's also look at the possible endgame for Cody Rhodes at WWE WrestleMania 40. The likely conclusion to this entire storyline might be the American Nightmare finally finishing his story by dethroning the tribal chief on night 2 of WrestleMania 40. Cody Rhodes needs to win the undisputed WWE Universal Championship, especially after all the recent chaos. The endgame must be clear. The Rock's power trip storyline could still play out beyond that, potentially causing him to kick Roman Reigns out of the Bloodline. It would be interesting to see the current tribal chief turning babyface to fight his supervillain cousin. WWE may finally get what they wanted all along, Reigns getting cheered as one of the top heroes in the company. What do you think The Rock will do at WrestleMania 40 following his heel turn? Leave your predictions in the comments section below. Stay tuned for more wrestling news.
I can feel the blood creeping up from the heathens. Got will, got fight, got pride, got reason. If they wanna go eat, then you know I'm gon' feed them. If you're coming for me, hope you're ready for a demon. I got eyes in the back of my head, I'm seeing. Take me for